to the channel. Let's talk shop with old school. I have with me today a very legendary individual. He brought us the W, which stands for Watts. He also popularized the tight neck white t-shirts. This brother is also responsible for appearing on our favorite soundtrack, Boys in the Hood, with a single entitled Every Single Weekend. This brother has also supported the gang troops in 92 with a song called Peace Treaty. This brother is a father, a husband, and all around what we call in Cali a real one. He also went to war with not only your favorite rapper, my favorite rapper. He is none other than Cam. What's up, brother? Did I do your intro right, man? Did I give you a good intro?
Yeah, it might be too good. I think
I'm trying to get my Shannon Sharp on, man. Shannon Sharp be giving some cold interviews with his, the introductions.
Yeah.
But check it out, man. I want to start by asking you, man. I know you from Watts/Compton, but where is your family originally from?
My family is literally from Watts, right? So half of my childhood, the majority of my childhood was between Watts and Compton. So it's like in a little district where Martin Luther King Hospital is at, called Willowbrook. They call it Willowbrook now, right? But it's not Compton and it's not across Imperial and Watts, so it's a little middle zone. But my mother, she was born on 107th Street. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like something like The Godfather. You know what I'm saying? My pops went to Fremont. You know what I'm saying? And so we all little East Side babies, East Side children. But I grew up. Like I said, I went to Carver, George Washington Carver Elementary School. So I'm right there, across Imperial, across from the Nickerson Garden. So, that's my upbringing. I spent
your upbringing was in the Nickersons?
No, in that area.
Okay, right.
Yeah,
right.
In that district. So I grew up, I grew up, running in Compton, but I also grew up in Watts and in that little middle ground. So anybody that knows, that area know what I'm talking about. But I intentionally, try to stay off the blue and red subject. You know what I'm saying? And
now, how you do that? How you do that? That's that because you know what? Being from California, period, our culture is gang related. So how did you stay neutral like that?
Well, I didn't stay neutral like that, but once I became a Muslim, once I joined, the Nation of Islam and saw what the real identity is, which is indigenous, which is black. It's not blue or red or brown or, you know what I'm saying? Even Mexicans is not really the brown race. So once I started learning the knowledge of myself and my own kind, and I saw the Willie Lynch behavioral psychological warfare of how we divide each other, then I made a promise to God at a certain time when I was like 18, 19, and to my brother, because I was doing my little thing, whatever, in the streets, and I would get myself in certain things that nobody could get me out of, but this Allah that my brother was just now getting into, my older brother. So once Allah got me out of, I made a promise that I would never perpetuate, I would never promote, certain divisionary type aspects of how we grew up no more. And my main focus, if I'm a press a line or if I'm, be on some gangster type time, is going to be against the real enemy that I was introduced to, that I was taught about. So that's why I just I grew up in a blue neighborhood, you know what I'm saying? So my neighborhood is from the blue side, but I intentionally spelled my name with a K-A-M, you know what I'm saying? And this is in the late 80s, early 90s, where black consciousness, like when people was wearing the African medallions and the X hats and that whole little era, we was trying to do acts of unity and acts of, you know what I'm saying, bridging the gap and not following them same Willie Lynch curses. So, you know, even on the west side, like, you know, a lot of dudes, not without mentioning no specific section, you know, they start, you know, they was known for wearing red and just doing stuff that was against the rules on the east side where we came up, but we saw the logic in it. Sometimes it was for deception purposes, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But other times it was still a liberating, freeing manhood thing. Like, hey, I ain't gonna be, you know, restricted to just, you know, this color. Like I really am from where I'm from. I can wear whatever. Cause so, you know, it's just little logics like that I start seeing and I start implementing at an early age. Cause I was disappointed, you know, yeah, and you see it all day now. I like and I'm gonna get off of this, you know, but the streets now, like all the codes and all that is over with.
Yeah,
Some of us seen that it was over with at an early age, like, these niggas left me for dead, or, you know, niggas ain't real, you know what I'm saying? Or your main section is the ones plotting on you, and, you know, a lot, you know, just like Nip or whatever politics that's going on in house, like I may as well as, you know what I'm saying?
right.
So I saw that at an early age in my fresh out of high school. Well, I seen him before that, you know what I'm saying?
Now let me ask you this, because you got me by a few years.
Mm-hmm.
What was life like growing up in the late 70s through that 80s period in Watts, LA, and Compton? Because you saw it from the beginning. You know what I mean? You might have been a little kid, but you was there to see the introduction to all of everything what it is today. What was it like back then?
Well, for me personally and my family, not just because of that, it was a nightmare. Like, you know, my childhood was hell. You know what I'm saying? For different reasons, for, you know, my personal family reasons and health reasons and losing siblings at a young age. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of stuff I didn't understand, and we was poor, and 3 or 4 generations of people in one house, family members in one house. Then I was raised like Christian, like, you know, and I just was totally mind effed. You know what I'm saying? Just like the majority of us was through slavery. You know, the stuff that we got put through for 400 years. So that was running deep in my household, in my family. So it wasn't really no escape. Like the streets, the homies like was an escape, but it was a escape, of a brotherhood of, you know, little homies that was suffering the same thing. So we, you know, we'll take our traumas out on each other, and like it was you know, it was rough. So to see the Willie Lynch COINTELPRO advance and evolution of self-destruction, especially of black males in the late 70s and the early mid 80s, it was hell. It was all bad. We didn't know it was hell. Like, you know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. Like, but you know, I had a real, you know, unpleasant childhood. You know what I'm saying?
Now, did you come from a 2-parent household?
Nah, no. So I think I was maybe 4 or 5 or something like that. Last I remember, you know, because my parents wasn't married. You know what I'm saying? When I was conceived, I think they got married after I got conceived, and then I remember living in Inglewood, like 83rd and 7th Ave. I think Inglewood family. That's my first interaction or first memory of gangs. It wasn't even on the east side. It was I guess because I was old enough now, 5 or some years old, that I seen, you know, something, you know, that didn't look right.
Grown folk taste test, no Coke and Pepsi. Nah, it's strictly for the grown.